The StoresAce application is oriented to store management, with a lot of value for those who have multiple stores. It exists to solve the problems of store operations, with profiles for different types of users, ranging from the employee to the manager, from the area supervisor to the financial director. Right on the main page, we are able to access what we sell and what was our sales forecast in real time. This interface is highly rich in information. For example, at the top, we have the summary of the year, with the accumulated of the year, the month, as well as a summary of the current day. Below, we can see the current details by store and where we can see the state of the stores in terms of communications. In the end, we have the performance of the brands, as well as hourly sales, either by number of sales or by their value. As it is a web application, this is not static data, but drill down can be done. For example, if we click on the annual total, we can see the evolution of monthly sales, but also the comparison with the homologated period, the cost of these sales, the margin, and the comparison with the budget. And by clicking on the Sales tab, we are able to get to the detail of all sales, with the hourly employee or the item sold. But on the main screen, if we click on the budget amount reached in the month, we can see the objective by day of the month, with the possibility of seeing the details of that day compared to counterparts, or even the evolution of sales on that day. All these details are for visible stores, but returning to the main screen, if we click on the annual goal of a particular store, we can see the monthly values only for that store. And clicking on a month, we can see the homologated comparisons and the distribution of sales in that month. Graphically below, we can see how are the projected sales and deviations, including in terms of contribution margin. But we have only talked about the dashboard so far. StoresAce is so much more. First of all, we have to create the stores, which will have integration with the respective POS. In addition to the address and contacts, we can enter descriptions for the loyalty app or see the items, suppliers, and prices of each store. We are able to manage everything related to items, and we have sale, purchase, sale and purchase, generic, and production items. For example, a sale and purchase item. We have the common parameterizations with up to 3 descriptions, the family or category, and the units. StoresAce has an intelligent way of handling the units. There's a video just for that. Above in the header, some quick informations, such as the current stock, the last cost price, or average cost price, or the sale price. But again, always very interactive. If we click on the HACCP, we see its evolution, and with that, we can understand what has happened over time. Below, all properties that go to the point of sale, special properties such as integration data or validity, among others. In Cardex, we can manage who we purchase from, at what prices, and in which units, with description and supplier code for integration and orders, so no failures can happen. In the Stocks tab, we can see what the product stock is, whether it is the current stock or to the date, always by warehouse. If we want to understand what happened in that warehouse, when we open it, we see all the movements in that warehouse up to the last stock take. It is also possible, if a mistake is detected, to open the associated documents without leaving this interface. The Variants tab. You can configure specific properties of specific industries, such as color, size, and so forth. In Constituents, we can see if this article is also part of a recipe, a menu, or a production order. That way, we can quickly understand what can move this item. In prices, we can configure the sale price of this item. This subject is also quite extensive, but it is interesting to mention that we can create price lists for store, store group, or global, and that these price lists have start and/or end dates. This way, we can pre-prepare price changes that take effect automatically. In info, extra information can be detailed for websites, e-commerce sites, or labels. Finally, in stores, we configure the stores where this item exists and where it can be ordered or sold. In the options on the right, you can still have access to the changelog. This feature exists for all entities and shows who did what. But it's not all about parameters. In the movements menu, we can place orders, deliveries, and returns, as well as shipment documents and stock takes. For instance, in deliveries, we can launch deliveries of goods based on orders or not. Deliveries, like all other movements, have a workflow and a status. They can be in draft, open, closed, in checking, checked according or not according, and integrated. In this way, we control the process from introduction to integration. In stock, we can also make other stock movements necessary for the operation, such as waste or warehouse transfers, but also internal requisitions, when stores ask other stores for goods or request merchandise from headquarters. Internal requisitions can give rise to transfers, or when grouped, can generate lists of needs for ordering, this way optimizing overall purchases. In the accounting menu, there's a feature that on average allows you to earn up to 7% of the value of purchases, the delivery conference. In this functionality, we can cross the different delivery nodes that give rise to a purchase invoice. The conference then gathers deliveries and compares with the invoice and identifies the differences in both value and quantity. If there are differences, a request for a credit note can be generated for the supplier, and this way correcting the purchase. But financial closings can also be checked by comparing point-of-sale data with bank deposits or transfers to see if there was merchandise that did not enter the destination, or returns. In budgeting, manage the budget. In the definition and analysis, in the option on the right, we have the definition of budget objectives, either by using the previous data or by importing an Excel file. In the HR option, all employees can be managed with the necessary details to send to the point of sale, their documents, and contract data. Timetables can also be created, compliant to what is mandatory by legislation. The loyalty option allows you to create campaigns or vouchers that are completely integrated with the items. For example, a birthday campaign allows you to issue a voucher. In the campaign, we can even view the vouchers issued per customer. But a campaign that goes like 160 points equals $1 allows you to discount 160 points to pay for a specific item. In all campaigns, we can define which items, stores, or customers have access to earn points or redeem them, or to have access to discounts or offers. In HACCP, the application allows you to manage expiration dates, labels, and temperature control. The dashboard allows you to quickly have access to what is about to expire or has expired, and take the appropriate measures. In the Labels option, it is possible to print the labels of the process. Simply select items, batches, and dates with a real-time preview and send them to the printer. The temperatures can be recorded automatically through the integration of compatible thermometers, or they can be entered by hand. The label module allows for the configuration of label templates necessary for each use. It is possible in a simple way to configure the fields of the labels and their positions, always seeing the preview. The labels can then be printed on different sites in the application. In the Reports option, these are divided into categories, and there are several dozens. As an example, a year-to-date comparative report for monthly categories, selecting all stores since the beginning of the year takes only a few seconds to deliver, and it can be exported to Excel or PDF in the same way. As an example, in F&B, menu engineering, the profitability and popularity report allows you to analyze which items are sold the most by family and which ones have better margin. With that, we can categorize the articles in order to be able to decide which ones to bet more, or which ones should be discontinued, or if prices should be changed. Finally, Paperless Management. At the top, we can access the documents that the store sent in digital format. For example, there is a series of delivery documents that the store has scanned. In these documents, we can view or print them, and we can also insert a document with a PDF open, or we can try to recognize them with the OCR for the insert to be automatic. There are many features to stand out, but this is just a summary. Stay tuned to the other videos that will explain in detail the different features of StoresAce.